Welcome to Michigan Golf Scene. I'm Roy J. Akers, and over the next half hour, we will cover Michigan's best covered stories from course reviews, college and junior golf, interviews with PGA and LPGA pros, equipment reviews, and we will examine golf issues in Michigan.
Hi, I'm Thad Zott with Zott M59 Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. It's April, and you know what time it is.
Joe Koser here, and it's time for hockey in the D.
Whoa, big fella. I'm Rod Allen, and I'm here to tell you it's time for baseball in the D.
Rod, Joe, you're both right. But there is one thing bigger in the D, the deal, baby. Dealsinthed.com is where you'll find every vehicle listed with our very best price.
During our spring clearance event, we have leases starting at $129 per month. Dealsinthed.com.
That's country strong.
The Mulligan Tour has been around for 20 years, and Tour Director Chuck Withey tells us why you should consider playing their tour during the 2019 season.
The Mulligan Tour has been around a while, since 1996 and that. What makes you guys stand out? Because there's a lot of people competing for golfers' business.
Well, so what the Mulligan Tour, when it was established by Eric Meelan back in '96, was just a group of buddies that wanted to have some type of competition, right? Besides your typical thing on the weekends where you go to a golf course, you play for skins or something. And so he decided he wanted to actually put together a tournament type format. So it felt sort of like the PGA. And so for us over the years, what we've basically become now is we've got 3 different divisions, we got 40 tournaments. Each of them are basically almost always stroke play, but there's a few odd tournaments we do during the year. And we have real-time scoring, which is nice. So you can actually see the leaderboard while you're playing your round. So it allows you to actually see where you stand at that moment. Gives you a chance to determine whether or not you're ahead, behind, what you need to do to improve your game at that point. We track
conservative. Don't go for the green and over the water.
Exactly. And if you play enough, you'll notice that sometimes somebody might jump out to an early lead because it's all handicap based on the slope and the rating. So there's times when we've got guys that have 18, 19 handicaps that will win that day because instead of shooting a 95, they shot an 85, and they get their strokes, and you're just not going to beat them if you're a 6 handicap because you're not going to shoot 3 under par that day. So it makes it fun for everybody.
Got it. Now, so I see you do the stroke, the scramble, the match play, and also you have the Ryder Cup style matches. Now, how is it going to work for a 5 handicap to go up against a 25 and everybody feels like they're getting their justice and have a chance to win?
Well, ultimately, because we do it on a handicap basis, we're doing 3 out of your last 6. And that day, inevitably, the guy that's got that 5 to 8 handicap, I got an 8 handicap. So as an example, right? Yeah. Last year I played 34 of our tournaments, and I moneyed, was in the top 7, 21 of them. If you could find your way to get yourself down to a net even for the day, maybe 1 or 2 under, you'll always find yourself in the top. It's tough to win. I only won 1 of them, came in second 7 times, but it gives everybody a chance. So the guy that's got 18, they can sit and say, I'll never win because I'm not that good of a golfer. It's like, all you need is have that one good day where you're hitting greens, you're making some putts. Instead of shooting your 95, you shot an 85, and no one's going to beat you that day because you're going to be 8 under par.
Now, you can't win money, you win what? Get your 50.
This is for every girl who's ever been laughed at or told she doesn't belong.
This is for every girl who's been told she's too loud, too quiet, too this or too that.
This is for every girl who thinks her body isn't good enough.
This is for every girl who feels she doesn't fit in.
This is for every girl who's been told that success and kindness are 2 different things.
This is for every girl who's been told to give up.
This is us crushing it for you, so you can crush it for the next girl.
One of the top women's collegiate programs in Michigan is only 6 years old. We go out to Oakland University and speak with three-time Horizon Coach of the Year, Alyssa Gaudio, and she talks about her team, what she looks for in a player, and how her professional management degree helps her with her Golden Grizzly players.
With me is Alyssa Gaudio, the Oakland University women's head coach. You're the initial head coach in 2014. That must be quite an honor for you.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. They split the programs into both men and women's and hired a men's and a women's coach, and so I was the first for the women's program.
Now, when you got the job, you were initially the head coach at Chicago State, and you initially took that team from one level to the next level. Do you think that got you noticed at a Division I program like here?
I think so. I think that's partially what helped me get an interview here and get through that stage of the process and get a little bit more notice than, before coming up as a Division III golfer and whatnot. So yes, I do think so.
Now, you have a degree in professional leadership. I know about educational leadership because I have a degree in that. But what is professional leadership, where you can be a CEO of a company?
We'll see, maybe one day. After I finished my undergraduate degree, I went into a master's of professional leadership and marketing, so I kind of dual combined it there. But the leadership was very new at that time, and so just how to lead people and different elements to try and make them successful and work with different personalities and attitudes and get to try and understand them.
And so that translated not only in the professional world, so you can actually help counsel some of the girls if they ask you to on a professional side for career advice, but also on a athletic side as well. How does that work?
I'd like to say that helps. I think it does. If they come to me with questions about anything or just trying to help them in their personal life and professional life, like you said, not just golf and what they're doing on the course, but what they need help with off the course. So I would like to say that it helps me there and, just a different mindset to think about things. Now,
your gals, or I want to say ladies now, we're not talking girls, we're talking ladies golf now, but you had your student athletes had a high grade point average at Chicago State. They're doing the same thing, I presume, at Oakland University. What do you do to, for a prospective player coming in, their parents want to make sure that they, become all that they can be? What do you do at Oakland University to help the women become very successful in their career after this game?
Yeah, we like to focus on the student aspect here first, and I always tell them class is more important. If you have something that conflicts with practice, as long as you let me know, we can work around it, because your degree is going to be what helps you most after. So that comes first, and I would like to say that I believe all of them know that that is true with me all the time. And so after college, just trying to help them look at careers and where they might want to go, and getting them to interview and apply for different positions, and just realizing how important that is and how important their degree is too.
Now, you have been the Coach of the Year 3 times already in the Horizon League. I mean, what do you consider the key to your success?
My players. I challenge them a lot, but they work so hard, and it's so good to see that. And I have a great group this year again, where I'm sure there have been some battles, some days where they think I'm being too hard on them, but they work their butts off and they're doing so well.
Well, you're doing a 3-hour practice on a day when there isn't. Well, there are a few players out here and there, but to come out on a day like this, is it really a tough thing to get them to come out when it's not real green out?
I think so. Right, you got clouds in the air, and their hands are cold, their ears are cold, all of that. So just getting them to do some team games and some pressure situations, and trying to make the most of the time we're out here, so it's not too brutal.
Well, I want to thank you, Alyssa Gaudio, for coming out and for telling us a little bit. We hope to catch up with you at an AJGA tournament. You can tell us about some of the players that are in the fold. You can't now, but eventually. When are the signings? I guess one final question. When are the signings?
Signing is in November every year, so that's when signing starts, and that's when we can, officially publicize who's coming to our school.
Well, let me ask a follow-up. Who did you have in the fold from this past November that's going to be in the fold for next September? Right?
Yeah, so I have 4 freshmen coming in. We'll have Kay Zubkis from Michigan, Mariella Simoncini from Michigan, and then we have Jess Hayes, who is from England, and then I have Emily Fleming from Illinois. So we kind of got a little bit of everywhere right now.
What was the common thread that you had with those players while you brought them in? What made them OU
They're
Grizzly material.
big competitors. I like seeing that spunk in them, hard workers and great people. So those three things, every time I watch them play and just how they handle themselves and the competitiveness in them and seeing them never give up, I really, really admire that.
Hi, I'm Thad Zott with Zott M59 Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. It's April, and you know what time it is.
Joe Koser here, and it's time for hockey in the D.
Whoa, big fella. I'm Rod Allen, and I'm here to tell you it's time for baseball in the D.
Rod, Joe, you're both right. But there is one thing bigger in the D. The deal, baby! DealsInTheD.com is where you'll find every vehicle listed with our very best price.
During our spring clearance event, we have leases starting at $129 per month. DealsInTheD.com.
That's country strong.
One of the all-time great PGA Tour players, Fred Couples, played in the inaugural Ally Challenge. As a fan, there is nothing better than watching professional reporters go at it with a player, and Couples gives the press some time, and hopefully you will enjoy this next segment.
Fred, we talked to you at Lake Orion a few years back, and you said you wanted to come back when the PGA was down there a couple years ago. What's it like,
Where is
man?
this?
At the PGA Championship in Lake Orion down the road a
Yeah.
few years ago. And you mentioned here about wanting to come back. When you first heard it was coming, man, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. You know, it was a lot of people here's favorite tournament. Great crowds, a really, really nice golf course, and I think it would probably be great for us now. I think if the regular guys came, they would drive half the holes and hit wedges into every other hole. So for us, it's perfect. But and it's not, I won here a long time ago, but it's not really because of that. It's just, it's a very, very fun spot to be. I was with Cadillac a long time, so I would go down and see all my friends. I'm gonna have dinner with Pete Jarosa Friday night, who's a long-time Cadillac guy who's retired. So it's a good event for me. I hope it stays a long time. I hope I can play at least, you know, a couple years here.
Obviously, your win here was a highlight, but what are some of the other things that kind of come to mind, some other memories you have of Warwick Hills?
Well, you know, they have great pro-ams. I remember I played with Bobby Rahal once. And when you don't, you know, you see people on TV like that and then you get to play with them, it's a lot of fun. But honestly, it's really the golf course. I love this golf course. It's got big greens. I'm from Seattle, so it's got a little bit of that with the pines and the, you know, our greens are not this big. But I think some people enjoy places by how they play. You know, and I'm one of those guys, and I like the 17th hole. It was probably back then one of the first spots to, you know, where you could start hearing them chant when you're on the third or fourth hole, which is 1,000 yards away. So they started all right here, and Phoenix took over.
Do you like that kind of?
I think it's great. Yeah, I mean, anyone who can come out and watch golf, you know, obviously you don't want people behind you on a tee yelling while you're swinging, but never had a problem with any of it. You know, you get a little more edgy because you want to hit a good shot, and it's a little more pressure packed. I know that sounds funny because, you know, if you don't hit a good shot, they're going to let you have it. But, you know, it's one hole, it's fun, and to have those kids, most of them were young kids that came, and it was pretty exciting to be here. And like I said, they started it, and, you know, I think Phoenix certainly has taken over with whatever they do out there. I haven't played in that tournament in a long time, but it's fun to watch.
Fred, you play a limited schedule now, so how's your back feeling right now?
Yeah, well, I think this is my 5th senior tour event, which isn't very, very good. I feel okay. To be honest with you, you know, it's the end of the year, and I love this tournament, so I'm here, but I'm not playing all that well, nor have I been practicing or playing. But I do have a great pairing with David Toms, who I love playing with, and Jay Haas, so that is really a good thing. To be honest, I know that sounds funny, but two guys I really like to play with, so maybe that'll help my game. But I need to get through this year, get through the off season, and hopefully come out and play a few more tournaments next year, because one every 2 months is not really good for your game.
It was important for you to be here. You wanted to be here.
Oh no, I love this tournament. Yeah, and, I wouldn't miss it. And I don't do that for many of them. But it's really the idea of a new sponsor. You know, I pulled out of the Shaw. I went to Seattle and played, and I had a really good last day. And I pulled out of the Shaw because I just had a little tweak, and I didn't go up there. And it really is a bad deal because that tournament has been very good to all of us, including me. And I won there, which helps. But here, you know, winning a long time ago, and I thought it was 1990. Someone said it was 94, so it's a little later than I thought. But this is a really, really good putt. I mean, we're lucky to be here. Ally is certainly a great sponsor, and I think it's a great move for our tour. This is somewhere where people can say, oh, I remember watching that tournament a long time ago. I know that hole. So a lot of times we go, people don't know where we are or what we're doing. But here, you know, this was one of the best tournaments on tour for a long time.
Still to come, we will take you to an interview with a place to consider visiting as a resort this season, and we will give you a glimpse of the new Callaway driver for the 2019 golf season.
This is for every girl who's ever been laughed at or told she doesn't belong.
This is for every girl who's been told she's too loud, too quiet, too this or too that.
This is for every girl who thinks her body isn't good enough.
This is for every girl who feels she doesn't fit in.
This is for every girl who's been told that success and kindness are two different things.
This is for every girl who's been told to give up.
This is us crushing it for you, so you can crush it for the next girl.
Our dad was a successful attorney. He didn't make a big fuss about himself, but everyone knew and respected him, like they do my brother Mike.
I didn't get a chance to practice with Dad, but we still consider ourselves a family law firm because we treat every client like family.
Giving you the same care and respect you'd give a family member.
That's the real advantage, and a commitment from me, Mike Morse. Call and see for yourself. 855-MIKE-WINS. 855-MIKE-WINS.
Brian Minbiol of Callaway has represented this manufacturer for nearly 30 years, and he talks to us about the new driver for the 2019 season. With Callaway, and Brian, you have in your hand a real weapon for golfers, and I understand that this is one of the top-selling irons in all the golf business. Tell us a little bit about it.
What's interesting about the Apex iron, it's a name we got when we acquired the Ben Hogan company and kept the name. So there's a standard and an expectation of excellence with the name Apex. This is a game-changing product. This is the third generation of it. It created a category unto itself. So those who are familiar with the Golf Digest hot list, there was never a category of players' distance irons. You know, players' irons were always more workable and classic looking, but effectively shorter and not as high performance. But the high performance golf clubs, the better player didn't like the looks of them. So this created a category unto itself. This being the CF19 is the newest version of this, and it basically takes everything we know about how to make a classically look and a high. So the beauty of what the Apex iron does in the CF19 model, as you can see in this cutaway, there's an awful lot going on with the golf club. Our classic thin face design that is built in a cup. And when you have a cup in an iron, it allows the face to flex to the greatest degree. Tungsten is infused into the sole of the golf club, which creates the center of gravity that enhances launch and allows for playability. We've got an internal urethane microspheres that are injected into the golf club that control the sound and the vibration and the feel of the golf club, but allow that face to flex to give maximum performance in what is a very classically designed golf club. The beauty of what the Apex CF19 does is the audience is very broad. So handicap levels up to and including 12, 13, 14, who never thought that they could play a forged golf club, would fit into this golf club, as well as players who get into the single digit all the way to a scratch level. So the beauty is you've got a club that you like the appearance of at address, you love the ball speed that's generated, the feel and performance of the golf club is unmatched, and that's why, in our opinion, it's the best iron in golf.
Now, taking a look, when players, some of your clubs, you can go ahead and you can
fit them different ways. These here, basically, you buy them, you can go ahead and hit them right away, or do you need to have them specially fitted, or how does that work?
Well, there's a full process that we can do that would incorporate the utilization of multiple shafts, changing the lie angle on the golf club, whether you're a steel or a graphite player. So as part of the fitting process that we encourage everybody to go through is to go where you have a trusted fitter, being your PGA golf professional, Carl's Golfland. Go through a process of having somebody evaluate your swing, evaluate your move, and then find out which golf club, and for in this case maybe it's Apex Pro or Standard Apex, that fits your game, knowing for sure that these clubs have been dialed into how you swing. You're not conforming to how they perform.
Now, there's so much data and research that goes into golf clubs. That's something I think that more and more people are cognizant of. But the data also translates when they take a look at your swing speed, your launch angle, and all other types of things that I'm not even mentioning. This can help you so that it's not a one-size-fits-all. Somebody can help you so that you're hitting the ball really from the first time you hit the golf course after you practice a bit.
Very much so, and it's interesting, the use of TrackMan, which is the technology that I use to fit my staff players and my consumers. It's what's utilized here at Carl's. It gives you an inordinate amount of data. In some cases, it may be more than the average consumer wants to get engaged with, but it definitely gives us a real clear understanding of how fast you swing the club, to what degree do you hit down on the club, what sort of launch parameters are we trying to achieve to maximize your playability, your distance, your forgiveness. And all those things can be incorporated into determining what is the best fit for you in terms of shaft material, shaft flex, shaft length, lie, club head design. All those things can be taken into account based on the information that we can get from virtually anybody who wants to go through a fitting process.
Now, these clubs are not for the faint of heart in terms of the price point. Tell us a little bit about the price point and what the benefit is, why someone would up their golf game if they bought your Callaway irons.
Like virtually every category that we deal with in the world, the highest performance product does come at a price. Apex would be sold, north of $1,300 for a set of golf clubs. What is put into that is the average lifespan for an avid player. They keep their irons for 4 to 5 years. So for example, in both these golf clubs, it's a 3.5-year window from when we had the last model out to this one, because we really want to make sure that there's improvements there. What you do find out with expensive equipment is the ability to know that everything is dialed in, everything is specifically designed to enhance the performance of the golf club. There's no questions asked in terms of, am I getting the best possible components? Am I getting the best possible design that's going to maximize the ability for us to play the game and do so in class with Apex?
Finally, we catch up with one of the all-time great LPGA players, Helen Alfredsson. She talks about the women having their own Legends Tour to go along with the men's.
Politically correct, since I last did interviews, I better just behave, right? Just.
Well, you made the first run, the big run at her.
I know, and then I made the bad mistake and I could not recover. Get a little tired, you're not used to this anymore, but it's fun. I mean, it's you feel horrible, but it's fun to be in there again.
Laura's just playing some amazing golf this summer, isn't she?
Oh, she's always been an amazing golfer, and I think it is a little different, for us that plays like twice a year. It's such a momentum, and yes, I mean, nothing taken away that she is an amazing player, but, it's a little bit different when you play tournaments regularly still.
Mm-hmm. Have you played much in tournament golf since Chicago Golf?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing?
No. No. It took me this long to recover. So I think 2 is my schedule nowadays. It suits me just fine.
Did it feel good to kind of be in the hunt and battling?
But does it ever feel good? I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit worse now because you have expectations on yourself. You've been in there. You love it. The thing is your body doesn't really, like when you don't play enough and you get there, it's like you don't know exactly how your body reacts. It's like your brain just goes farty, like, what am I supposed to think now? What is my thought, But of course, it's always fun. It's always fun to compete, or I wouldn't play all the way here. But this golf course is such a tough golf course as well. And with the wind, it's, they're playing it nice for us, but still, it's, Yeah, but it's a joy to be here.
The Senior Women's Open moves up a couple months into May. Will you try to play in some events next spring before that championship?
Well, I don't know. I am eligible for ANA, so maybe because I'm in the States, I might as well take all the young kids, you know. And they go, where did they find this old fart? Just dust her off on the first tee. I'm just going to start with doing this. I'm just going to dust myself off.
Yes.
Yeah.
You speak Korean, right?
Oh, I speak Korean, yeah. Well, at least bad words. But I'm sure they say that they don't use any bad words.
That's all for now. If you want player rankings for Michigan Preps and more interviews and press conferences and a whole lot more, go to www.midwestsportscene.com and then go on to the Michigan Golf Scene page. Until next time, this is Roy J. Akers reporting.